Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Lowen podcast. This week, I'm joined by my good friend Jarrett Spence.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, welcome on, man. And for those who are unaware, Jarrett here runs Wizards Lead, which is part of the Lead Network, I believe, right?
Yes.
As well as he covers the uh, New York Liberty with Sports Illustrated. So yeah, welcome to the show, Jarrett.
Appreciate you having me on.
Of course, and first of all, I'm just gonna ask about like how does it feel like writing for Sports Illustrated? That's one of those publications where a lot of people looking to get into sports writing, they're like, that's one of the big companies that would be really cool to write for. And here you are actually doing it. How does that feel?
It feels crazy. Like feels surreal. Like it's like so it's on SI, so it's like a branch of Sports Illustrated. But then when you go to like the website, it says Sports Illustrated. So it's like seeing my name on there. Like every time I go to the website, I see my stuff. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. Like I'm really on Sports Illustrated's website. Like it's really surreal to me.
Yeah. Uh, I kind of had that same feeling you have when when I first started with like Fansided back when I first started sports writing, like just seeing my name like on a company, it was like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
But yeah, you're covering your hometown team, the New York Liberty, as well as you're pretty consistently covering the Washington Mystics. How does it feel like? What's it like being able to go into locker rooms, meet the player, or not necessarily locker rooms, but like go into the media room, meet the players, meet the coaches, like uh, really get to interview people like who I imagine you've looked up to or seen as like, oh, these are really cool people to get to meet. Now you get to work with them
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
hmm Yeah, it's crazy because it's like when I first started, like I first started with the Wizards and then transitioned to the Mystics and everything, and it's crazy because like when I first was in there and I was looking, I'm like, wow, like these are really like I'm really up close and personal with them, and like for the WNBA, it's like for me, like I'm always like starstruck seeing them, but the most starstruck I've been was Asia Wilson. Like I really was like, yo, that's Asia Wilson right there. Like that's really her. Like, and I'm like, that's crazy. And she's like really cool. She's like really funny, really down to earth. So it kind of eased my nerves because like I didn't show it, but my nerves was like up there when she came into the room. Like, oh wow, like that's really Asia. But it's really a cool feeling being able to talk to these players and ask them questions and just not only to know them as basketball players, but kind of see like their personality come out when after the games or pre-game, you kind of see how they are, getting into that mode pre-game and then how they unwind post-game.
Yeah. And kind of pivoting off of that, what are other than Asia Wilson, like have there been other players where you're sitting there and you're like, oh my goodness, like
Mm,
that's
yeah.
that's
Um,
that's I'm really meeting this player.
like even I would go to the NBA at this point, like when Luca was still with the Mavs, seeing Luca, um, Jason Kidd too, because like I grew up watching Jason Kidd. Um, who else I can say? Seeing Wimby up close, like Wimby is huge. Who else? KD. Seeing LeBron. Who else I can say really? Man, there's so many of them. Honestly, I think the first person I interviewed was Kristaps Porzingis when he was in Washington, and then I was like, yo, this is a big dude right here. I think people know how big and tall NBA players are, but I don't think you really get a grasp on how huge they are until you're actually next to them. Like even like the players who are like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", whatever, they're tall, but like they're big in stature, like they're big, wide, strong. It's like, dang, like you people think they can, compete in the NBA. So you see these players up close and personal. Nah, it's a complete different ball game.
Yeah, I've got my boss is 6'8" and just staying next to him. I'm just sitting here like,
Exactly.
so I can't imagine meeting somebody like Wemby or like George Merson or any
Yeah,
of those like massive dudes.
yeah. And I've seen George
That'd be
Masson at
crazy.
plenty of Wizards games, and big dude, big dude.
But who has surprised you the most of all the players that you've met, out of all the coaches that you've met,
hmm
where you're like, this person's giving a lot more thoughtful answers than I thought they would give, or this person's been
hmm
really awesome to the media. This person's been really chill with the media.
hmm
Who another way, I guess. Who's been your favorite player to interview so far?
It's a very good question, man. When Jordan Poole was here, he was a good person to interview because he was always really funny. Um, who else? Jason Kidd gave a good explanation to me when I asked him a few questions. Um, Shea Gildas Alexander, he gave me some good answers. Um, man, so many of them. CJ McCollum was pretty good as well. Gives really thoughtful answers. Trying to think of one more. Um, I think when JJ Redick came to town, he gave a lot of good, like good X and O's and everything, as well. So he was pretty good. Um, Luca too, but Luca he was kind of quiet in a way. Like he has a really low voice, I guess, interview wise. But he gave a really good answer. So those are some of the ones I could think of off the top of my head.
I gotcha. And then kind of pivoting, similar question, I guess. Um, you're surrounded by some of the titans of the industry whenever you're in that media room. I know you've met guys like David Aldridge. I know there are plenty of Josh Robbins. There are plenty of other guys as well that I'm not going to name here, but those are the two main guys in DC. Um, how has it been like? Have you met like any of your journalism idols in that media room or in at the media rooms you've had an opportunity to visit? Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and what was
definitely,
that like?
definitely David Aldridge. That's another person I was starstruck when I first seen him. Like, oh wow, like he's really here, like at a Wizards game. I was really shocked about that. But I know he's from DC and everything. I met Mark Spears recently, so that was really good. Uh, I haven't really got a chance to speak with with any of them, but Kendra Andrews, who else? Chris Haynes. Who else have seen? This is going off All Star Weekend. Man, it was so many of them. Kendra's husband, David. I forgot his last name. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Um, but he works for ESPN. Ramona was there. Like it was a lot of them, man. I was like, wow, like this is big time right here. So seeing all of them and being in the same room with them is like, wow, like this is amazing. But unfortunately, I didn't really get a chance to talk to them, but because as well as they were, I was running around asking players different questions and everything. But they have like bigger media obligations than I do because they write for super huge
Yeah,
companies, so they have to get probably the locker rooms, things like that, other media stuff they have to do. But yeah, I mean, those are some of the few names that definitely was like, wow, like I'm really right next to this person.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And since you mentioned it, I'll ask you about it now. You were chosen as a media member to go cover NBA All Star Weekend.
hmm
Do you want to just walk through like all of that really, because like that's an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah,
Wow, walk me through that. Like
yeah.
how was that?
It was honestly insane. Like honestly, I didn't know what to expect because it's of course it's my first All Star weekend. So heavy security, of course. Into the dome, super nice. Like it's amazing in there. Um, so like how they had it structured, they had like staggered players like in one media room. So it's players like in different sections, and they had like time slots. So and they had like a screen saying which players are going to come in. So you either had to sit at a table and wait for a certain player to come in that you probably would for sure know you're going to get a question here with them, or you can go to like a table where like Giannis, Steph Curry, who else like Wemby, players like that, and the tables were full. People waiting for them, trying to get a question in, or just trying to record the video or audio, trying to get some quotes from them. Me, I was like, I know I'm not gonna get a question in with these other guys and everybody being there. So I'm gonna go to the other tables where I can tell it's not a lot of people there yet. So I can kind of be right there in the front and I can get a question in. So that's what I chose to do. I got some questions in. And then like they had like a press room with certain players. Like they had Anthony Edwards after he won the All Star MVP. They had him in the big press room. They had Wemby in there. They had pregame. They had Tyrese Maxey and Kay Cunningham there. They had LeBron there one in the morning before the game. I didn't go to that. Where else? Also, they had the slam dunk contest. Keyshawn Johnson. He was in the big press room, so I got to ask him a question. That was pretty cool. For us, like the media, they had us like the opposite side of the wall. It was actually really cool seeing the wall for up close and personal. And then like we was kind of like in the I don't want to say the bleachers, but basically like you can have a good view, but they also had like the halo into the dome, so you were able to see everything on the halo as well.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. I got to cover the Saturday and the Sunday events. Um, I didn't get there till probably Saturday morning. That's when I got there. Like I got to LA like 2 a.m. So like I
So
literally
th-
had to. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so that would have been 3 point contest, skills challenge,
mm-hmm.
slam dunk, and then
Shooting stars, yeah,
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 and
shooting.
then the actual game. Then
Yep, mm-hmm,
gotcha.
yep. So like literally, I got to LA 2 a.m. Got to my room probably around like 3 a.m. Had to be back up probably by like 7 a.m. And got ready, left out the hotel room by like 8:30. Got to into a dome probably about 9ish. It was literally there. I mean, I wouldn't say all day because like the events actually start early this year. It was started at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So we was done with everything by like 6ish, 6:30. So which was pretty cool. Like I was like this is my first All Star, and I'm everything is done early. This is cool. This is nice. So it was actually fun. Ended up enjoying LA. Like I went out for a little bit afterward, and then like literally right after the All Star game Sunday, I had to hung out for a little bit, and then so my flight wasn't until 11:45 or something like that night. So I got a little bit more time to spend in LA, and then I went home. Took a red eye.
Yeah.
Took me 2 days to recover.
Yeah. Since you didn't mention, I'll ask you real quick. Did you go through the NBA to go cover that event, or did you go through the lead? Who did you cover the? Who were you there with?
Mm-hmm. So I submitted application and I put the lead and SI on there. I had to go through the NBA's actual email and website to do it, and they approved me for SI. So I actually was sitting with other SI reporters as well. So it was actually pretty cool. Um, took a while for the NBA to get back to me, but I had already said to myself, like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out there and whatever happens, happens. Like if I get approved, if I don't, I'll just be down out there in LA. I'll go to any events that's happening in the area, network myself, whatever. And probably about 2 weeks before the All Star game actually, the weekend started, that's when I got the email.
That's awesome. How did that feel opening that?
I was like, it's about time. That's literally what I said. 'Cause I'm like, at least tell me if I got approved or not. Because the thing was, they send you a So first you set up an account to get to see if you could get approved to actually apply to cover the event. So I had to wait for the email to tell me that I could actually apply for it. Like basically my profile is approved, and then had to apply, and then took forever to. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm not complaining about the process at all. But yeah, eventually then they got back to me saying I got approved. But that was a very surreal feeling. I think I was at work when I got that email, and I'm like, oh, let me go to the back real quick and look at my phone, look at the email, and I was like, oh, this is nice. Like I felt really good. Felt like I got validated, you know.
Yeah, apply to apply to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then kind of shifting back to your responsibility covering the lead. You have a big game coming up tomorrow. We for context, we are recording this on Wednesday, the 4th. So tomorrow, being Trey Young's debut with the Wizards, is that going to be a game that you're going to be there covering? Is that going to be a goal of yours to go talk to Trey Young?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm definitely gonna be there covering it. People kind of thought, like I know, Greg thought Trey was gonna get suspended because of the incident the other day. And I was like, maybe it would be wrong if they were to suspend Trey Young for his debut game.
I
But
did see that tweet.
yeah, but I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, I would be there. More than likely, more than likely, Trey's gonna come talk to us post game. Um, got the chance to talk to him. Well, I didn't actually talk to him, but I was at the press conference when they first announced, the signing and the trade, I should say. And when he came out and talked to media, I was there for that. So it'll be cool. I expect to be in a packed house, a packed media room, as it was when he was coming to talk to media before. Like it was really packed in that media room. So definitely expected to be like that again.
Yeah, I saw that they're expecting him to play 17 to 20 minutes. What's your stat prediction for Trey Young tomorrow night? Like, what do you think he's gonna do?
I think granted, think he I think he'll get double digits for sure. I think I'll give him about like 15 points minimum. Um, Probably about like 6 or 7 assists. Like I expect him to at least go crazy in the minutes that he
Yeah,
gets. Yeah, like I think I know it's a difference between being practicing with the team and actually being on the court with them and actually being on the bench talking to them as opposed to being on the court trying to understand spacing with them, where they like the ball, things like that. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment period for everybody on the team,
yeah,
especially with the way Trae Young plays basketball. You know, pass first guard who relies heavy on pick and roll, things like that, and long range shooting. Um, Definitely think he's going to make the game a lot easier for some players on the team, especially Alex Sarr and Bilal and Keyshawn George, who have taken a lot of ball handler responsibilities because the team doesn't necessarily have a true point guard. They do it really doing it by committee. So I think that will really help them to play off the ball more. They can preserve their energy and they can play defense more and not have to worry about expending so much on offense and trying to create for the entire team.
yeah. Um, to me, looking ahead to tomorrow, I know Trey Young in the past when he's come back from injury, he's looked to create for others first, and then score second,
Mm-hmm.
and then also it's his first time playing with this roster. But also at the same time, there's no Keyshawn George, there's no Alex Sarr. Um, so scoring around him is going to be scoring efficiency at least around him is going to be a little bit hit or miss. So I see him kind of. I see like 12, 15 points as well. But I think he's going to have like 8 assists. I think he's going to prioritize getting everybody else involved first. But I don't know how well that's going to work out with no Sar, no Keyshawn George.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a difference without them.
Yeah, I think Juju Reese is going to have a career high tomorrow night. I think that's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
Probably going to see a couple tweets from Angel Reese as well about that. But
definitely. Sorry, give me 1 minute.
You're good.
Okay.
But yeah, other than the Trae Young debut game tomorrow, what are you most excited for looking forward to the rest of this season, this off season, and then really transitioning into covering the Liberty?
Yeah. For one, I'm looking forward to how the Wizards kind of play the free agent market, and of course, if they are extend Trae and Anthony Davis, like how the offseason negotiations are going to go. But I was thinking about this earlier. Riley is starting to become really good really fast. So
Absolutely.
where is this going to leave? Like the other wings on the teams. We're going to have to start making some decisions on these players. It's like,
Yeah.
Can we afford to keep all these players? And it's like Keyshawn is really good already. Like to me, Keyshawn will be the fourth best player on the team when Trae and AD come back.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, who's going to be that fifth guy? Because like Bilal has his moments where he looks really good, and he has these moments when he's hurt, and it's like, all right, we need you to stay healthy because we need your defense, we need your athleticism. Up has these moments when he looks really good, and sometimes he has his struggles.
Yeah.
But then Will Riley is playing great basketball as well for a rookie, and then you still got Jaden Hardy who's playing really good as well. So it's like we have to decide like who's going to be like our main guys. I think that that's probably going to be the most exciting thing with the Wizards this offseason. It's like, all right, we got to solidify who's staying and who has to go.
Yeah.
Transitioning to the Liberty and the Mystics, hopefully they get the negotiations done by, I think this March 10th, I think it is, the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
something like that at least.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's like hopefully they get everything done so we have a season. That's the main thing. But hopefully I can try and make it up to New York to go to some Liberty games as well. Definitely will have to make that trip and try to get some quotes from the players and everything like that. But I'm really excited for the Liberty because of the new coach that they hired.
Yeah.
And them trying to figure out, his system, implementing his new system. And, he's coming off championship Warriors team, coaching Steph Curry, Draymond, Clay, KD and all those guys. So how he uses the stuff he learned from them and put it with the Liberty, I'm really excited to see that. And the Mystics as well, because, they're technically going through a rebuild. And they became really good. Their rookies became really good really fast as well. So seeing their progression, and when they was playing on Unrivaled, they was playing really good basketball. So seeing how all the WNBA players that played on Unrivaled, how they transition into the season and how they learn, continue playing basketball during the off season, working on their skills and bringing it into the new season.
Yeah. And circling back to something you said earlier today, earlier in that response, the Wizards really have three starting caliber, four guys that you can argue deserve the starting spot next year at the small forward, with Keyshawn George, Will Riley, Bilal Coulibaly, Depending on here, I don't think he's going to make a push for the starting spot. But depending on how Jameer Watkins looks and throughout the off season, if he's able to put together a decent three-point shooting season, he's already slowly creeping up as the season goes on and on. I think he's getting close to 36%. That's a really good player if he's able to hit those threes. Who's the odd man out there? Like, that's four incredibly high level players. That's not to mention Justin Champagnie, whoever they draft with a potential of AJ Dibansa. Like, that would be insane. Like,
Yeah.
how would you, if you were Will Dawkins, how would you approach that wing rotation? Really, they can't slot one of those guys, two of those guys at the shooting guard position. But with Anthony Davis playing heavy minutes at the four, like, you can't really move those guys around to bigger than you can't play small ball too much with these guys. So, like, what would you do if you were Dawkins? Like, how would you approach that?
Yeah, it's hard because it's like I said, it's all these wings. I'll say this: if they decide, I would say trade the pick, but if they decide to get like Boozer instead of Devonta or Peterson, I wouldn't be mad because I would understand why. Because you are already loaded with wings and guards. Like, you already have, like, potentially, like, you could throw Keyshawn at the two. You could throw Bilal at the two if you want.
Yeah.
Watkins, Riley could play the three. Riley's tall enough to play the four, but he's not strong enough. Like, he's still really skinny.
He's not quite there yet. No.
Yeah, he's not quite there yet. So,
but him and Keyshawn are both unofficially 6'10". I think Bilal Coulibaly is still listed at 6'5". He's like 6'8". Like,
yeah, he's definitely 6'8". Yeah,
like these are huge players for really naturally playing shooting guard.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing is, they not much Jameer as of yet. Will Riley, Keyshawn, and Bilal, they're very good playmakers and ball handlers.
Yeah.
So it's like you could play them kind of like as a big two. But I don't know who would be the odd man out, to be honest with you. Because, Jameer, they just signed to a 2-year regular contract.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could just stash him away in the G League at this point. So it's what I would think he would be the odd. Well, Will Riley's contract wasn't converted yet, right?
I think his was a standard contract because he was a first round pick. I don't think his was a two-way.
Yeah, okay, but he's been playing some time in the G League, so
yeah,
maybe they put him in the G League and let him get some more reps. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. I've been trying to figure out like who will be the odd man out with this team because it's like they're all really good, and I don't want anyone to be the odd man out, but it's like the way the business of the NBA is.
Yeah,
it might happen. So I don't know. I can't answer that. It's hard because if they decide to keep AD, you're gonna have a lot of wings. Definitely, definitely gonna have a lot of wings. Unless you stagger some of AD's minutes at the 5, and then you could throw one of them at the 4 or something.
Yeah, because Keyshawn I think started at the 4 most of the season.
Yeah,
him and Riley have both played heavy minutes at the 4.
Yeah. So it's like you can stagger AD for like 15 minutes at the 5 when you give Alex Sarr a break, or But then you got Vucevic because he just signed the contract as well. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm glad I don't have Will Dawkins' job because it's a lot to figure out.
Yeah, they've got a lot. And you mentioned the draft pick, Darren Peterson, AJ Dibansa, Cam Boozer, probably the most hyped up, most promising big three in NBA draft history, which is saying quite a bit with some of the big threes we've seen. If you had the choice, I know this is a big question.
Yeah.
who who would you pick to be the rookie for the Wizards next year, and why?
If I had to pick, whew, oh, man, this is hard. Um, I would think I would say Devonta, because how tall is Devonta? 6'9", right?
Yeah, I think he's 6'9",
Six
but
nine, yeah,
official measurements uh, will happen at the NBA combine or draft
yeah,
combine.
yeah. So I would say with his scoring ability and athleticism, you should definitely go for him. Um, if the team is really buying in with Trey Young and Trey Johnson as the guards, and then whoever else, then I don't see why they would pick Peterson, especially based on like how well Trey Johnson's been playing, and we already know what Trey Young is going to do. So yeah, I mean, I would say either Devonta, or if you want to go with a big, go with Boozer, because I think I would go with Boozer based on having some insurance for AD's injury
Yeah,
history. Yeah, like I think that would be the safer pick, because you have that player who can come in, make an impact. He can rebound the ball. I think he'll fit well with Alex Sarr,
hmm,
and with AD's injury history, you can start him, and I think he'll fit pretty seamlessly, as opposed to like Devonta and Peterson. They kind of probably have to find their way.
yeah. Um, kind of, I change my mind on a daily basis on who I want the Wizards to pick, but I think as of right now, the safest bet is probably Boozer. He's having the greatest freshman season in quite possibly NCAA history, almost certainly Duke history, which saying a year after Cooper Flag, it just feels ridiculous. Um, but like watching him, he's got a fluid jumper. He doesn't have the quickest feet in the world, but he doesn't necessarily need to because he's still 6'10",
Yeah,
right? And he's still got that NBA ready frame. He's got good touch, and he's extremely smart for a 18-year-old power forward.
yeah,
Like that, his combination of skills and intelligence and really just the ability to back anybody down regardless of who it is he's going against. I think that's the safest bet. And then he's one of the best rebounders I've ever seen, outside of like NBA guys. Um, he's a tremendous, tremendous rebounder. I've seen like 3 or 4 clips where he's not in the play at all, and then like he enters the play with like after the shot's already up, shots already hit rim, he gets the rebound.
yeah,
Like he putting a player like that next to Alex Sarr, who is tremendous at everything except for rebounding the basketball. I think that's an elite. That's the building blocks of an elite front court. And then you'd have Anthony Davis there to mentor both him and Sarr, and then you just rotate those three. Like, yeah, Vucevic is on contract. Yeah, they might go sign another vet minimum center, but you just rotate those three. You have two of those on two of Cam Boozer, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr on the floor at all times, and then your defense is set. That's what I would do personally. I don't know if I'd do that if I had the number 1 overall pick, but that's what I kind of hope to see. Granted, I need to watch a little bit more Boozer. I need to. I'll lock in more as the season comes to an end and as the off season starts.
I think
But
he had a crazy rebounding game the other day, though.
he does some crazy things.
Yeah.
on the board. He eats glass. That he's not Rodman or anything, but he's gonna be one of the better rebounders in the NBA, despite being what 6'10". So if he has a growth spurt, he's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
his dad was a pretty good rebounder as well. So.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Not quite to the level of Cam, but Carlos was a
Yeah.
great rebounder as well. One time
Yeah.
All Star as well.
Yep.
Kind of pivoting. You mentioned earlier when talking about what you were looking forward to with the WNBA season. You
Mhm.
mentioned you weren't 100% sure whether a new CBA would come to fruition between the WNBA and the Players Union. Uh, in your opinion, how far apart do you think they are? How what are the odds that they're able to reach an agreement and we're able to see a full season be played?
Um. So I actually just got an update saying is a statement from the WNBPA Association. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think the proposal's going well because
Yeah,
from the recent posts I'm seeing, it's like they haven't agreed to anything yet because they're basically asking them to accept 15%.
yeah. There's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So it's like I don't think they're anywhere close. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
it's like
they're both. I think both sides are going to have to give up a lot, and I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know what I don't know if either side's willing to move too much because I know like it was I know it was 10 sub 10% on the current CBA. So the fact that the WNBA's proposal is still only 15% and the players union's been asking 50%.
mhm.
Yeah, that's both sides are going to have to give something up.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Like I think the women they definitely deserve the 50%. I honestly don't know like what because I mean I'm not in the negotiation meetings. I
Yeah,
don't see the numbers. I don't see the books. So I don't know what the exact numbers are. But it's like something's have to give. It seemed like they're making more with Unrivaled than that the WNBA players should probably just like, hey, listen, let's just extend Unrivaled, like just have a whole regular season and a full season during the WNBA and just go with that since WNBA is being cheap basically. So like I don't
yeah.
know. I hope that they figure out something, but it doesn't look too good.
Yeah, and I know I saw. I think it was a week ago. It was announced that the players, for the first time in league history, were able to unlock the revenue sharing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know how that distributes between players. I think is it what 50,000 a player, something like that. Um, but it was a substantial check for every player in the league, and I'd imagine that just makes them want more of that. Um, but yeah, so you expect the lockout to happen though?
I think it's going to happen, but I think it's not going to be like a lockout like the NBA lockout was. I think
Yeah,
it's like I mean the players were still playing, like the NBA players were still playing in like different leagues and all that.
yeah,
So it probably would be like the same with the WNBA. So as fans, we'll still get basketball, but yeah, I think something's going to happen, but it's going to be some type of lockout. I definitely
yeah,
think that's going to be the situation, and I don't know if players are going to like, go overseas or because like the point of them making Unrivaled was for them to stay
yeah,
in one area. So
yeah. Especially after everything with Brittany Griner kind of
exactly,
went south, I'd imagine a lot of players are going to be hesitant to
yeah,
be traveling overseas to play.
exactly. So it's like, will Unrivaled decide to like if they do a whole thing where they open up the league and go to different cities and like how they did with Philadelphia and New York, then yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like that would be amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be some type of lockout.
Yeah. And is there really any other thoughts you have on the current situation of the WNBA, the Liberty situation, Mystic situation, Wizard situation? Just anything in general you want to add about anything we've talked about today?
Um, with the Wizards, let me say this because you've probably seen it on Twitter how like supposedly they was calling it unethical tanking because how the Wizards were able to get Trae Young, Anthony Davis, and keep their top pick, right? It's like the Wizards were bad for so long.
Let's have one.
Yeah, exactly. Let us have one. Like we thought Wemby was gonna come, didn't happen. Um, we got the second pick with Alex R, which is great. We thought we was gonna get, you know, we thought we was probably gonna get the number one pick with Cooper. Well, we definitely thought we was gonna get Cooper Flag. Like that was capture the flag. Definitely thought that was gonna happen. It didn't happen. So
Let's have one.
yeah, it's like we're probably not gonna get the number one pick this year. But at least we got, Trae Young and Anthony Davis out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we deserve a break,
Yeah. Granted, it's also a year where a top 5 pick is roughly equal to the number 1 overall pick in just about any other year, with probably going to be Kingston Fleming's the 5th overall pick. You look at his advanced stats, and it's like Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook
Yeah.
are worse than him. And it's like, oh, okay, this guy's 5th pick. Okay.
But you can't go wrong.
No, yeah, there are a lot of can't miss prospects here, and I think this is a very good year to be really bad.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is the year to be bad because Adam Silver is really trying to crack down on tanking next season. So
I'm gonna ask you about this real quick. You've seen, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the proposals that have been made for the anti tanking. What are your thoughts on that? Because you also grew up a Knicks fan too, and the Knicks have not been great for much of your life. They've definitely benefited a little bit from some of the rules that, or some of the current rules and previous rules from the even when David Stern was in charge, and a lot of those rules have been changed. They've definitely benefited a lot. What are your thoughts on some of these ideas that Adam Silver has at least entertained?
I don't, I'll go off of this because David always we was talking about this the other day, a few weeks ago actually. He was saying he thought they should abolish the draft because the draft technically is to help the worst teams in the league become good again. That's the whole point of it. To get the best talent from college or wherever they're coming from, go to the worst teams the previous season to help build them up to become potentially a winning franchise. Not sure if they should abolish the draft. I've seen something about having the players just become free agents and they could just decide to sign anywhere. Like they could just negotiate everything. And I'm like, I don't like that idea at all.
No.
I really don't like that. Like, yeah, because it's like teams will, teams. I don't want to say teams will throw crazy bags at rookies, but like players are going to try to go to winning organizations.
Yeah,
probably off the bat.
Yeah, and I'd imagine like that would heavily skew things towards the bigger markets and really screw over smaller market teams who are heavily reliant on the draft.
Exactly.
The only way that would work, and shout out to my dad for this idea, would be if there's a pre-assigned contract for how much a player would be able to sign for. So like you have a panel of one delegation from every team assign a value to each player from a minimum contract all the way to a max contract, right? And and that's how much that player has to sign for. You don't get to negotiate lower, you don't get to negotiate higher. The league as a whole would determine the player's value, and then they can go debate from there. So then you have to have the cap space to sign the player. But then two, it would hurt you if you went and signed like Zion Williamson would have had a max contract and then played like 40 games. Like that would have absolutely demolished the Pelicans. They wouldn't have been able to recover at all because that's a max contract rather than just a rookie contract. But that would also it would force teams to be smarter about who they offer, and it would bring more parity probably. But that's the only way I see that working. I'm not even sure I support that idea. But that's the only way idea I've seen proposed that would include abolishing the draft that makes any kind of sense. Because other than that, you're just opening it up for the Lakers to go get whoever the hell they want. Exactly. You're opening it up for because they already do. They already get whoever they want.
Exactly. It's like the big markets are always going to be the favorites to get someone.
Yeah, but you make it so that they don't get control over how much money is offered. Or you don't get control over the contract at all. That makes it opens it up for the smaller market teams to have a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all I really want. Because I know the big market teams are always going to have more money. They're going to have the resources. They're going to have hey, look at our history. Except for maybe the Knicks, no offense.
I think I have two ideas behind that. I would say just have the worst team have the number one pick. To me, that's the most simplest thing you could do. I mean, teams are going to find a way to tank no matter what. They're going to find a way to try to do it no matter what. I'll just say embrace it. Just say, all right, the worst team gets the number one pick. That's straight up like that. Then you do it that way, and then the next year, that team that probably got the number one pick, they can't fall into the top 5 to 8 range, whatever the case may be. They I guess it could be kind of like a snake draft or something like that, but yearly, they have the first pick one year, then the next year they had the 30th pick in the first round or something like that. So that would prevent them from constantly tanking every single season.
The way I would do it would be if they were to get at least if they were to get rid of the draft lottery. If they were to get rid of the draft lottery and just be you pick based on order, what I would do is I would have obviously worst team gets number one, but then cap it so you can't pick top 5 the next year, and then that would prevent teams in the play-in from tanking out or that are just outside of the play-in rather from tanking out the last absolutely plummeting in the rankings in the or sitting all of their players rather for the last 2 months of the or not necessarily 2 months, but you know what I mean, the last little bit of the regular season. We saw Atlanta do that a couple years ago, and they got Zachary Reese-Shea number 1 overall. Spurs did that, and they leapfrogged to Dylan Harper. What I think what they should do is, I think the bigger issue is really that end of season tanking. I think that's the bigger issue. Especially play-in teams do it a lot. Limit how high you can jump. Right? You've got a floor on how far you can fall. But why is it that and this would also prevent like any rigging allegations as well, because you hear every single year you hear draft lottery's rigged. It would prevent teams like the Spurs, who are 2 games behind, 2 games outside of the playoff picture, not just playing playoff. I think because didn't they lose in the play-in last year? No, they fell just shy because Wemby got hurt. Because Wemby got hurt, but they were just outside of the play-in. They leapfrogged Dylan Harper right after a year after they jumped a bunch to get Stephon Castle. Right after they jumped to get Wemby. Like, you're seeing teams jump every year, and that just makes fans of other teams be like, that's rigged. We just saw the Mavs, who are a playoff team when healthy last year, get hurt. They fell just outside of the play-in. They get Cooper Flag. Whereas we see the Jazz and the Wizards, they both plummeted. They fell. They both fell to the worst possible pick they could have gotten. Putting a limit on how far a team can fall, and then putting a limit on how far a team can rise, allows you to keep the draft lottery, which is a televised event. You can make money off of it, I guess. And then it also prevents teams from just completely plummeting, or trying to plummet, rather, at the very end of the season. You know?
Yeah. I agree with that. I like that idea.
But yeah, we're running long, so I think we're going to end it there. End it off on a positive note, I guess. We'll call it positive. Thank you again for joining, Jarrett. Really appreciate having you on.
Thanks for having me on, Gibby.
And for those watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.